Hi, this is Terry from MaxLogic. Today we're going to look at work centers. We're going to look at how they've been designed to be role-based to bring simplicity to the end user. So let's have a look at a service request in the traditional application view. Notice we have options on the left, we have little buttons on the right, we have boxes to fill in with lots of written words, which has been there for well over 25 years now. But this has been supplemented with the new work center view, where you get a little picture of what the problem is. People will click on the little picture, there'll be another couple of boxes after that, that'll be presented for them to click, and that'll be their work request created and submitted. If you're a supervisor, you've probably been used to using work order tracking, where again, with a lot of words, options down the left hand sides, you maybe have to click on the work order number to expand it to give you more details. Well, again, that's been supplemented by the work supervision start center. It's in a Kanban style, so which means we have work on the left, what we want you to approve. When you've approved it, it'll move to the next column where you need to maybe assign it, or once it's been assigned it may move across to the work order monitor column so you can keep an eye on what's happening with the work. Clicking on one of these cards will expand the card and give you more detail, sometimes written, sometimes visual. There are 4 work centers that we're going to look at. The first one is making a new request, so this is typically for the end user to report a problem. The second one will be for supervisor to supervise the work in this targeted Kanban style, this role-based style for using the work center. The third is to execute the work, that's with the technician stroke engineer, where he'll be able to see what's due today or due tomorrow, overdue. You can see all his work and it will be presented to him again with these small cards with plenty of pictures, plenty of information on the front of the card, and just clicking on the card gives him some options to do which will drive him the direction we want him to be. The last one is to analyze the work, so this might be for a business analyst to look at how we work in as a corporation, are we meeting our SLAs. Clicking on one of these at the top, so for instance closed work orders with no actuals, we've got some here. Or we've got the first one, we can click emergency work orders with no downtime, and we can get a little graph and see what's happening here. So we're going to be looking at those today as well. So here we're presented with the new request work center. We've built a few pictures on here to cover some of the requests, but these can be added to or deleted or altered or put different pictures on. But to start this, we look at on the left hand side new request, and this is now the screen we're presented. So let's choose the category of where the problem is. So it could be air conditioning. Notice we get a fly to the left hand side, that gives us some issues, and again we've defined these issues here, the common issues that you'd find in air conditioning in most buildings. So let's have a look at water coming from the unit. I've clicked on the radio button, I click on next. It gives me the details. I can add additional details in this box underneath. It gives me my name, or I could alter this and override it if it was somebody else who was affected, but it's me. I click on next. Do you want to put a photo or a video? And I'm going to say yes. We like taking photos of the air conditioning, so we've got a problem with this one. So that was the problem we've got, the air conditioning leak. Select a location. So I'm going to say it's in MaxLogic's office on the ground floor. I'm going to skip this asset because we've just told it that it's the air conditioning unit. I can click to say it's a high priority because there's water coming through. I could submit the request. This now presents it to me in a card. So this card now, if I want to expand this and have a look, you get the little pictures to see again the category which it's in. So I've now expanded the card to see what's underneath this. So I can see it's a high priority. Who's requested it? It's me. So again, I get a picture. Where is it? It's in MaxLogic's headquarters here in Leeds. I get the date and the time that it's recorded. And there's the picture that I took as well. So when this goes to the technician or the supervisor, they'll be easily able to see exactly what it is I was reporting, and they can then fix that. Let's look at the work center now for the supervisor. You'll instantly see that on ours we've split it up into 4 columns. This is presented to you like a Kanban chart as used in Agile working methodology. We've got a first column here of approved work that we want the supervisor to approve. When he has approved anything, it can get moved into the assigned owner column automatically, where he might want to assign an owner for this. When the owner, i.e. the technician, is working on the work, it will pop into the monitor because we want the supervisor to monitor specific work. So we've put this in this column here. Then when everything's done, we might want it all to go into the close column at the end. So there's a number of things with these cards that you can see. If we just click on one simply, it expands. We can see it's waiting approval. We can see the location, what it's for here. We can have a look at the job plan or the work type. We can see the full service address of where this one is. If we click on a number of tabs at the top, so the plan tab for instance, we open up the plan tab, and as it opens up, this should give us a list of the tasks that we want the technician to do. That's been labeled. There you go. So he's removing some scaffolding, activating some fire dampers, removing logging, erecting scaffolding. There's a number of tasks, and these are presented as cards as well. So the supervisor can make some actions on these cards. So let's go back using the back arrow here, and this will take us back to the cards. So let's click on this fire damper maintenance and just approve this one card here. And you'll see it'll move across. Because it's already been assigned to Hank, then it's gone straight into the monitor work. So in this particular example, I didn't need to assign. There's another one here that's come in, smoke detector head. So I can approve this one. It's now having a look on here, and it will move it across to the assigned owner. So it's wanting me now to find an owner. So I can click on owner, select an owner. I get a list of all my workers on the left hand side. If I filter this now down to Hank, and can now give this piece of work to Hank, and that's now moved into this column here, so I can see all the work that Hank's doing. So let's have a look what else we can do on here. On the left hand side we've got a couple of tools options, so we can look at a list of just closed works if we just want to look at a big list of closed works, or maybe we can review service requests. So a service request that's come in from one of the customers out there, might be this one here. We can have a look at this one, and he can now look at what you want, what's come in, where it is. So it's in the Leeds office here. It was reported by the administrator. Is there any attachments? Yes, there's been a photograph about the air conditioning is leaking here, so you can see this here. So from here we can change the status and say yes, this is in progress, it's pending, or maybe I just put it in my queue. I'm not going to do anything with it just yet, but I've put it in my queue. But these are service requests, so I click back on the work progress chart and I can now get back to my Kanban. So these are work orders, not service requests, but the service requests still sit under this little icon here, so I can work with them. I can also turn the service request into a work order, However, I can also create a work order on the fly. So there's a little tool at the bottom here, allows me to create an on-the-fly work order. So notice I'm presented with some details, the plans, assignments, any comments and the attachments. So first of all, I'm going to start working my way round with the location. Seems a good place, so let's go for the plant room here. We'll click the work type and we'll say it's emergency maintenance. What's the problem? I'm going to type at the top here, the boiler has tripped. So I've now got a brief description. I can add a long description if I want to put more comment in here. If I want some schedule information about when I need this to actually be done, so I might want to target this, so I'm going to add this on here from the calendar, and I'm going to say I want it to be done tomorrow, which is the 2nd of September, and I can pick a specific time. So we'll just go, let's say 1:46, that'll do. I can put my finish time in here, or I could put a target start and a target finish. Maybe I want to actually target finish in here, so I could pop that in here. I want to put some hours, how long I want it's going to take. Should take 30 minutes, so we've saved that. So just to refresh this one, we'll put this on for here, and we'll pop this on here. Let's go, this is the time I want you to do it. We click save. So you can see we've now very easy to operate. Once the work order has been put in the system like this, we can save it with the save button here. It's now waiting approval. So we've got the boiler strips, it's waiting approval. The work order number 2103 has been created, and I can approve it straight from here. So just click on here, I can approve the work order immediately. From here I can go back to my Kanban board of work. So it's just reloading, and the boiler is tripped. So it's in here and it's been approved. So it's now, there's the work order, it's moved across, it's ready for me to give it to a technician, which is called an owner. So that is the Supervisor Work Center. So let's look at the Work Execution Work Center. This will be presented to the engineer, the technician. It will show the work that's been assigned to him with the dates and the days that, and the hours that are required. And so these are presented to him in cards. So there's a card here for the boilers making a noise, or card here for the water coming from the unit. So let's click on here and have a look what it's showing us underneath this card. It's showing us that it's approved. We can see the place where we're meant to be going. We can see a picture of the office. If we look at the attachment here, yep, the requester has actually put a picture of water that's coming from the unit, so that's quite nice. We can see the scheduled date when we'd like to get this done. So we've got a target completion date and a target start and completion date and time is filled in, and it's also come from an originating service request. So that's somebody using the service request work center clicked on the little picture, created a service request, and then we've turned that into a work order because we may need to put more time or hours, or there might be extra work that needs doing. So let's go back and look at these again. Notice at the top here we've got some filters, so we can show work that's due tomorrow. So this is filtered by work for tomorrow. So I've only got one job tomorrow, the boiler strip. What's in the 3 to 5 days? Yep, there's some. That's a unit there that needs coming. I can look at anything that's been completed on here. So I may have missed something out that I needed to add. So I can look at the fire damper maintenance. And again, looking at this fire damper maintenance here, if I look at the plans tab, I can actually see, and it will be presented in the little card sections, what I was supposed to do. So here's my task. I was going to erect some scaffolding, remove the lagging, activate the fire dampers, refit the lagging and remove the scaffolding and clean up. So you can see exactly what's been said, what's been told to the technician. Let's go back to the details. Let's go and see if we've got any time that's been reported in here. So yep, 30 minutes has been added by me on the date that I put it in. Now, if I may have missed some time, I can click on add time. I maybe need to just add another 30 minutes and I can put that down as maybe travel time. So this one was work actual time, this one was travel time. I can put the date and time in here and I can click save. That's now put me 2 cards in here, and when it refreshes there's the 2 cards, so I can see I've got some travel time, I've got some actual work time. So let me go back to the main cards on the main page and let's see what's due. So we'll look at these boilers trips here. I can click on start and you can put start the work. So I've just clicked on start and it's simply done like that. It's simply started. It now shows me that this is approved, it's working. When I've completed this and come back, I can simply click on stop. So we'll revisit that in a second. There's a nice little option on here for the technician to create a work order. So on the right hand side here, create work. So let's give him a description, enter here. So let's say the window has broken. You can select a priority, so we'll put priority 1. We can put the location, so presented on the right hand side now, we'll say it's on the 1st floor in MaxLogic's headquarters. Let's open this and say yes, it's, what is it? Well, it's emergency. So it's quite an emergency because the window's broken. When do we want to schedule it in? Well, we're going to get it done now. So we can put this in and we're going to get it finished by, it has to be finished by, again, let's say tomorrow. If there's any further comments or attachments, I could put an attachment here of the window, a picture, etc. That's what these top tabs are for. So I can save this. That new work order is now in the system. It's waiting for approval. If I have the authority to approve it, I could approve it right now. So yeah, it's approved or it's in progress. It may be that I just go straight to in progress because I need to get that window fixed right now. So let me pop back into here. So we go back to the front cards again. Remember our boiler trips here. We started the piece of work. I can now come back in, clicking on stop. Change the work order to complete. Yes, I'll just only want to stop it. Well, I'm going to actually, I want to complete it as well. And then I can be presented with some hours and I can put some hours on the system. If I need to put some hours, I can add the time and say, yep, with 3 or 4 minutes or 33 minutes on here. Save it. And I can click complete the work. Oh. If I don't want to put the work, put the time on, I can just delete the time. Then click the complete the work at the top. It comes across here, and then go back to the main page. So as you can see, it's really easy. It's really simple to do. It's nicely presented for the technician or the engineer. Okay, let's look at the Business Analyst Work Center. This has been designed to bring to the business analyst or anybody who really wants to keep an eye on what's happening with their Maximo or maybe their data or the performance of their business, to give them something very simple, very graphical, very one page, but it's key to what they want to do for their business. It's made up of a number of areas. The top area across the white band here, these would be mainly KPIs that you would set up in the KPI manager. So we'll quickly have a look at the KPI manager here. We have one for work orders overdue. The actual reading currently is 577. We've got some warnings and some alerts, and this is inside Maximo here. However, that's been brought through to be one of these KPIs at the top. So there's the 577. Notice the warning triangle. Notice it's in red because we're over the warning, and notice the little arrow showing that the trend is going up. So depending how you set your KPIs, the arrow may go up or it go down. So in this instance here, this arrow is going down and we're set at 10%. So again, look at emergency work orders with no downtime. There is a KPI that will manage this. If we click on one of these small KPI boxes, we've got a little graph that will be opened up, and in the hamburger there's some choices. We can download the picture of the graph. We can open it up into a larger screen so we can see more on how the trend is going. If we look at the other containers, so on the left hand side, this is the dataset library containers where we can actually build some data sets. The data sets would be a list of information that you would probably want to download. So you download it into CSV, and it could be anything. To make one, we will click new there and we will select the data that we want to put in this data set. We'll come back to that in a second. The middle containers here, we set these up for work management. So there's some little graphs on backlogs, on weighting materials. These are the filters, so we might want to filter on the priorities. So we've got 4 priorities here, and as we click them, the filters then apply dynamically to all of the graphs in this center column here. So if we went to priority 2, you can see the graphs are altering to priority 2. So this is work, waiting on material work, the quantities here for priority 2 work. And again, the little hamburger lets me maybe alter the charts. I can look at different charts and select different chart options. So let's have a look in this one, what chart options we've got. Maybe I want to look at a pie chart, so I can alter this to a pie chart. On the right hand side, in these containers here, we've just set up some ones for data management as examples. So assets with no classifications, that might be key to your business. And you can see the percentage here, we've got 70% have got no classification, so it's blank, so that's not very good for data quality. Assets with no failure codes, again, let's see what we've got here, 85%. Again, that's not very good for data quality. So you might want to use and build all of these on the right hand side to keep an eye on your data and the quality on the data. On the middle here, you might want to put something to do with work management or purchasing or whatever's key to you. And on the left hand side here, it's the data sets of data you actually want to download. So talking of this, let's have a quick look. So we've clicked on designing the data set here. So let's click on the data set for purchase order details. When we clicked on the card, what that's automatically done is brought through all of the tables that are pertaining to purchase orders. It's all been linked in the background. You don't have any technical work to do here. And on the right hand side where the fields, once you've highlighted one of the list on here on the left hand side, then on the right hand side you can just click on something. So maybe you want the build to, so click and add. You might want the let's have a look on here, the currency code, click on add. You might want the description, click on add. You might want a number, click on add. So you can pop these go into the right hand side. You can preview with the preview button at the bottom what it's going to look like. But once you've got here, we click on next. There's some queries that you can pick. So we're looking at all purchase orders or specific queries or purchase orders awaiting approval, or we can build some queries in the Maximo purchase order query builder, and they will be visible here. So you can use existing queries, or maybe if you're good at writing queries, then you can write your own. So I'm just going to pop that one in there. I'm going to click next. You can put a title, the name of your data sets. So PO test. So this is a test in the video demo, and I'm going to save it, and it tells me it's successfully done. So I'm going to return to the work center. So now on the work center on the left hand side here, there will be the PO test. That's the one that I've just built. So from here I can just click on the download and then download it instantly into this CSV. So there's my CSV file at the bottom. We can open the CSV. It's opening in Excel, and again it's just a list that I chose for this example. So that's an overview really of the Business Analysis Work Center. Thank you.